Always a pleasure to talk sports, and of course, you know how we do it here on Sports Extraordinary. I will look at the extraordinary activities revolving around the sporting sector from Nigeria down to Europe and the world at large. And also joining us to look at some of those interesting stories is the coach of Ofrima FC, the center of attraction in our conversation this evening here on this show. Mr. NC Enye Olale joins us, the coach of Ofrima FC, one of the team that will be representing River State in this year's Federation Cup. Coach, you're welcome to the show. Tough pressure to be here, and of course we'll start from the news of key plans, you know, for this year's Federation Cup. And Mike, we are 2 days to the start of the round of 64 of the Federation Cup, and a lot of persons are already anticipating. We hear that Rivers United are already planning on how to prosecute their game. We saw them lost 2-1 today at the Samson Siasia Stadium. Rivers United also will planning also the next game now will be in the Federation Cup round of 64. But before we go into all that, the game that was halted by the heavy downpour yesterday in Bayelsa ended up today. Rivers United losing. That is one game loss. How do you see this impacting on their performance and in their bid, you know, to climb into the top?
Yeah, I think for me it's not a good one for Rivers United. Having you know, being hosted out of the CAF Confederation Cup, and they came back, they played about 3 games and won all 3 games, and they have faced a strong Bayelsa United. You expect Rivers United to get the better of Bayelsa United, owing to the fact that Bayelsa United have not been informed this season. So for me, I had tipped Rivers United to go all the way and get all 3 points, so as to complement themselves on the log out there, because looking at the position that Rivers United find themselves is not a favorable one. One might say, yes, they still have maybe about 5 outstanding games to play, but then that you have an outstanding game does not mean that you have all 3 points in your kitty. You need to work for it. Now, courtesy of that loss, Rivers United is seated 13th position right now. And because of where Bayelsa United were seated in the relegation zone, they fight so hard to ensure that they got all 3 points so as to also move up the ladder. Courtesy of that victory right now, I think they have an edge. They are seated 15th on the log right now, and that gives them that morale booster to also continue to battle if they can be able to stay afloat of the NPFL this season. But for Rivers United, I think it's not a good result, because if they had won that game, they would stand in a pole position to also contend for the league title. Don't forget, Enugu Rangers is topping the log right now with 54 points or thereabout. If Rivers United win all their outstanding games, I tell you, they will be even up on the log right there, you know, against the likes of Enugu Rangers, Enyimba, Plateau United, or even Gombe, because Rivers United have 40 points right now. If you play 5 games, each game has 3 points. That 5 game is equivalent to 15 points. If you add 15 points to 40 points, that is about 55 points. It therefore catapults Rivers United to top of the league. But courtesy of this drop in point right now, I tell you, is going to affect their league. Their position on the league so far. So for me, I just think that what they need to do is that the title chase, for me, if you ask me, realistically speaking, it is out of the way. But mathematically speaking, you will say, yes, they are still in contention, but then they still have about 4 away games to play. And you know how difficult it is here in the Nigeria Premier Football League for you to go away and get all 3 points. So I think what Rivers United should do right now is to ensure that they pick 1 or 2 victory out of those 5 outstanding games, and see if they can be able to finish in a very respectable table at the end of the season.
Mr. Olale, you are a coach in Rivers State, and so you should be familiar with Rivers United. They are champions in 2022. Do you think that with the backlog of games that we played and with where they are right now, did you see Rivers United as challenging for this title of the Nigeria Premier Football League this season?
Yes, of course. Yes, I see them challenging because I believe in them. I watched them, a few of their games. They are a good side. They have a good team, and their current form, they picked up after the CAF Champions League. They played other league, the Continental. They played, they lost. They focus on the league now. They are stepping up their game.
But I mean, losing to Bayelsa United in a game that you know that you need to do everything winning. I don't want to look at it from the perspective of the home and away basis. Rivers United should be a team that can go anywhere and win games. So with the loss now, I don't think that that is a dent, like Michael said, on the title challenge.
Playing against Bayelsa United, I know it will be a very tough one because they need to go out from that red line. So I know that match will be a very tough match because, in fact, they really need to go out from there. So they will do everything possible. The coach will talk to his boys. They should try their best because they need to go out from relegation zone. So definitely they fight very hard. After Rivers United equalizing, they came back, fight hard to make sure they equalize to get a maximum 3 point. It will not be easy match.
And Michael, let me come back to you now. In preparation for the FA Cup, Rivers United themselves will be playing in the FA Cup, and they will be playing. Is it an NNS side or the NNS side? This year's FA Cup we have more NNS side, than the MPFS side, and that alone should count for something. I will come to coach on that, but let me take you on this. Rivers United.